Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. Welcome to my YouTube channel. At the time of recording this video, I'm hoping that all the information that I give you is correct. It may be subject to change because that's how TV programmes go, but I'll give you all the information I have as of the time of recording this video. So this video is to showcase my new release with All and Create. All and Create have their anniversary event on Monday, which is next Monday the 17th and 18th of July, 18th and 19th and 19th and 20th. So 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. Yeah, I think it's 17th to the 20th, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yes. So we have our anniversary event, 6 years of being on the TV and demonstrating our products. So I have a release for the anniversary, and my showcase is on Monday, which is the 17th of July, and I'm on at 6 p.m. Not me personally, whoever's demonstrating, which at this moment in time I don't have that information, but the one day special is at 6 p.m. The next show is then 9 p.m. on the 17th, which is the Monday, and then on the Tuesday I have shows at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. so a normal one day special show. So for this release, for the anniversary release, which is a special event, there'll also be a preview show. Now I'm presuming the preview show is on Craft Extra at 12 o'clock on the Monday. So that'll be a preview show where you can see all the releases. So from myself, from Abs and Company and Janet Klein. So I'm presuming it's on Craft Extra. If that changes, I'll let you know via social media, but it's at 12 o'clock on the Monday. So that's a preview to see all three releases in one go. And in that hour, you can buy all three. After that hour, they're then removed from the library, and then mine will still be available after that 12 o'clock show, mainly because I've got a one day special on the same day at 6 o'clock. So you'll be able to get my products all the way through the day at the reduced price on the Monday. So what I'm going to do, my aim for this video is to quickly show you the stamps, but I think it's more important to show you samples so that you know what you can achieve with the stamps. So I'm quickly going to go through the stamps and do a quick overview. So first of all, I've got an A5 stamp set, and the A5 stamp set, let's put it on here then you don't get the glare. The A5 stamp set is called Flower Smudge, and I'm really proud of this. I'm proud of them all, and the video will be repetitive because obviously I do love the stamps that I create, but each time I'm trying to improve. So this is called Flower Smudge, and this is 985. And in here are stamps that have sort of got that smudgy background. But when you see one of my samples, you'll realise, let's just see if we can get some white card. You will realise that you don't just have to stamp in black. There's no point if you've only got to stamp in black, just so that you can see the detail. You can see it a little bit better on the picture because I've used the stamp, so you can see what you're getting on the picture. So the stamps, there's 3 on the A5 set, and they're a good substantial size. So this one is just over 5.5 inches. Are they all the same? Let's just make sure. Yep, 5.5. Yep, coming up to 5.5. So all about the same size in height, and width wise the middle one is about 2.25. This one might be a little bit wider, coming up to 2 3/4. So you've got a good substantial stamp there, and it's got beautiful detail in there. So it's sort of the reverse, where the flower's in white and you've got the black underneath, rather than the flower in black and the white underneath. And then the same applies to the middle flower. And then we've got a silhouette flower that is covered up slightly with the packaging, but you can see that here. If I just lift this up a little bit, you can see that clearly there. Just so you can see that. But you've got some beautiful details in there. You've got Love Grows here. You can tell when Tracy squeezes something in, Love Grows here is attached to this stamp, so you can cut that away if you wish. But I needed it in the stamp, and there has to be so much of a gap, so I squeezed it in so that I use every bit of space that I can. So just a beautiful stamp set. So this is an A5 stamp set, and it is very, very striking when stamped in black. It's absolutely beautifully. It stamps beautifully when you stamp it in the black. Now, you know me very well by now. Those of you that follow me anyway know that I will give you lots of inspiration. So you'll see these stamped many, many times. And also the design team will be showing their samples as well. So let me just grab the plastic just to place that back. So that is the A5 stamp set. There's only one A5 in this collection. Stamp set 985. So let's move that out of the way. So then we've got an A6 stamp set. I absolutely love this. I've had such a ball using this. It's a buttercup, and it's called Build Me Up. Little buttercup, sort of a really good size, and then flattened out. So it's just lovely. So let me just measure the flowers for you. Even though this is an A6 stamp, this one, oh, and we'll just flick it all over the place. This one is 5 1/4 inches, that one. Now that's a really good substantial size flower. Really good substantial size flower will make a great impact. And what I've done, let's lift the packaging up. What I've done is I've left you some gaps so you can add touches of colour as well into there, just so that you can see that. You can add touches of colour as well. The buttercup, this one, is 3 3/4 inches. Again, a really good size, and when you see my projects, hopefully you will see. Let me see if I turn the light on, if it's just a little bit better with the brightness and the light. So this one, when you see my samples, you'll see it's got a lovely, it really does give a lovely impact to the designs. We've got nature is a seed, nature is a weed or a flower, which it is, because a weed is just a flower in the wrong place. Just because buttercup and choose happy. So those are the sentiments that you have on there, and hopefully the samples will inspire you when you see them. At the moment, I always seem to be doing these videos in high humidity. It is so hot, but you've heard me say that so many times now. But being a redhead, it's a struggle. Anyway, on to the next stamp, another A6 stamps. So you might be asking, so you've done more A6 stamps this time, Tracy. It's because I'm trying to give you a variation of sizes in florals, foliage, insects, etc. So I'm trying to give you a variation in size. This one, I also love. This is from one of the ferns in my garden. Now you expect a fern to have little thin, like fronds, but one of the ferns I've got in the garden has got a thick, leathery leaves, and that's one of them. And it's lovely when it's stamped, which you can't see, but on the stamp because I've used it, but you will see it in the samples. We've got appreciate the little things, live your dreams with passion. What else have we got? Make a wish and looping, and we've got a little butterfly as well. Now the looping is again another good size, around about just over 4 1/4 inches. That's a good size, that is, 4 1/4 inches. And then the fern leaf is again 4¼ inches. And you think because it's an A6 stamp, you're not going to get substantial size stamps. Well, you do. And they're just gorgeous. The little butterfly is about 1¼ inches across. Just love that. And the samples again bring it to life. I know I say that each time, but I think I'm a visual person. So when I see samples, that's when I say, oh yes, now I can see. It always brings things to life. So that's the second A6. So that was £9.90 and the buttercup is £9.88. There'll be bundles available and also individuals. So then I've got another A6 stamp, and wait until you see this stamped. Oh, it's just gorgeous. So we've got a bluebell, little bluebells and a different flower, a bit like a hellebore flower. So you've got the 2 bluebells and it says, bluebell amongst the flowers, sending sunshine, sees the day, and is it memorable? Yes. So this is stamp set 989. And this bluebell, honestly, wait till you see it stamped. It's stunning. This is going to be easy to measure. So it is approximately 3 inches, that is. Approximately 3 inches. This finer bluebell is 3½ inches. And the little flower, that's not so little, is 2 inches. And again, just fantastic. And I wanted the bluebell, but just because I've put bluebell doesn't mean it has to be a bluebell. It can be anything. Colour it purple. It can be a purple bell. Leave it white. It can be a white bell. It doesn't matter. It doesn't limit. Don't limit your imagination. Now, I don't want to spend too long actually showing you packaging, because I think it's more important to spend more time on the samples. So that's 3 A6 stamps. So 989, 990, 988. So there's 1 A5, 3 A6, 4 A6. Now, my thinking behind this one was that I want florals that are going to fit in if you want to create a bouquet, if you want to create a meadow stamping, if you want to create little notelets. I want different size combinations, and that's what this stamp's about. And this flower, when you see it stamped, again, I know I've said it before, it looks just so gorgeous. The sentiments are follow your own path, 1 in a million, which I love that sentiment, 1 in a million. Imagination has no limit. And I've got a little background stamp on here. Now what I've done, you know how normally, like I've done with this one here, which you can't see because it's been stamped. You see with this one, I've added the background within the flower. So what I've done with this background here is I've taken it away from where the flowers are so that you can use it in other compositions on its own. So therefore you've got that on its own. So then you can create your own compositions. So you've got that text and the circles that I normally have separately so that you can add them to your smaller florals. That's the idea with that. So it's also got the word original on there as well, which I also love that word. Now again, an A6 stamp, but packed with so much. I've got another flower that's like a harebell, and one just a generic flower, and another one, you've seen me have an A7 stamp set with this flower on, and a stencil as well. But I wanted to bring more possibilities to your stencils, and that's why I added this little one as well, because all these here work beautifully with your stencils. So do they all. The great English, Tracy. They all work with your stencils, in other words. Also, this flower is, it's about 3 3/4 to that top bit there, 3 3/4 inches in height. The littler version of it, so that you can have composition, is 2 1/4 inches. This little harebell type of flower is about 2 1/4. The smaller flower is 1 3/4. So these variations in sizes really add to your composition. So let's just place that in here. So we've got 1A5, 4A6, 1A5, 4A6, and I've got 2A7, and they all work beautifully with each other. Let's just bring these in. So you've got periwinkle, and that's from the periwinkle in my garden. The only difference is I've added a heart to the centre, and also a little flower here that we've called the good. So on here you've got vinca minor and periwinkle, which both mean the same. So that's your two names for your plant, your flower. This one is grown with love, and I can't read this because I've had a long day. Let me just see if I can just stamp this. There we go. It's not on the acrylic block straight, but what does it matter? Take time to appreciate the beauty of the flowers. Take time to appreciate the beauty of the flowers. Now, the reason I do the smaller sentiments, there's two reasons. One, they work wonderful as background elements when you do repeat stamping. So they work fantastically if you want to do repeat stamping and have that text as your background. So because it's small text, it isn't overpowering and can be used as a background. But also, when you've got flowers, it's lovely to tuck little sentiments in, just little snippets inside things. So I love it for that. We've got focus on the good and grown with love on that one. So on 986, the good, that flower takes up the majority of the A7 stamp. So again, it's not a tiddly little thing. Believe it or not, it's 3 1/4 inches, that is. So that's not a tiddly stamp, that's 3 1/4 inches, that stamp. So that's not tiddly at all, 3 1/4 inches. And I think that's brilliant for an A7 stamp, because then if that's all you can afford is the A7 stamp, you've still got lots of possibilities with that. I've got to put this back on the plastic because it'll irritate me if I don't put it right. So let's just place that in here. I do spend a lot of time faffing, but I do like them put back. And then the periwinkle, it should be around about the same size, I would say. No, that's over 3 1/2, coming up to 3 3/4 inches. Now for an A7 stamp set, I think that's really good. And what I've done is I've added you this smaller version here, because that will make lovely background details. So you can make like little ditzy prints with that. So that'll work really lovely. And those two flowers also work beautifully together. So I'm going to show you some samples. So we've got 2A7, 4A6 and 1A5. But I'm going to bring in some samples because I think that's what, you know, really helps. So I'll sort of place them somewhere on one side, she says. I have, before I show this the samples, I just need to show you that there will be some stencils on the show. However, I don't have those stencils at the time of recording the video. So this is the first stencil. I'm using my screen because they haven't arrived yet. So they will be on the show. This is called Reptilian Petals. So they are 6x6 stencils. And you know that's going to work with all my florals. It's just beautiful. So that's one of the stencils. I'll just bring the next one up. The next one is Bloopy Galoopy 176. Again, a lovely stencil with some good open areas for you to add plenty of colour. Again, 6x6. So the next one. Now I adore this one. Autumny Falls. Autumny Falls. Oh, for goodness sake, you know what it means. But I made sure that you'd got the cutout bits. Woohoo! You've got the cutout bits as well. So how cool is that for your gel press? You have the cutout bits. I am so chuffed about that. Stencil 177 6x6, but you've got the cutout bits. Yay! So that's going to be a good one, that one is. So that's 3. The next stencil is called Crisp Tulips. So again, really good open areas for that colour. Really good open areas for adding colour. Be brilliant on your gel press. Brilliant for stamping through. Just beautiful. So that is stencil 178. There are 6 stencils. This stencil is Trifolia Tricks 179. Again, lovely open areas. And also, if you wanted, you could sponge through them in black and cut them out so that you can add them to your florals when you stamp them. So you could cut these out and you've got extra little bits to add to your florals. But then with your composition, you could add the stenciling in the background. So that's 179. And then the final stencil is Whirly Whizzes, which can be florals, could be snowflakes, could be anything you wanted. It's how you use it, it's how you colour it. You could also cut those out, but if you coloured them in blue, nobody would know any difference and think it's a snowflake. If you colour them in bright colours, it's a flower. And if you colour them just any colour you wish, it's just a general background. Again, works beautifully. So that's stencil 180. Now, I do apologise that I don't have the stencils in my hand, but they will be on the show. I don't know how the bundles will be put together, but what I like to do is I like to do my best to make sure that I do one of these videos. And my samples need to go off to the TV. So that's why I'm recording this video, to make sure that you get to see the samples. So the first one, let's bring in, so we've the looping here. So let's bring in that. So this is the first card. And every card that I show you is on a workshop. It's workshop 96 and it's Nature's Beauty. It's workshop 96. I think there are 11 cards, 11 or 12 cards. No, 11 cards, and there is a little vignette as well, and the workshop is £35. So if you want to join me, I will leave my email in the description, or you can contact me on Messenger on Facebook. So this is my first sample. So just so that you can see that looping and that sort of leaf in the background, just so you can see that. And I'm going to sort of scan over the details because I think it's important that you see the samples, because they are what bring things to life. This is one of my favourite background stamps, 756, but I just love that, and I wanted to try it in a different colour with the yellow. Just beautiful. So that's the looping. I'm just pulling these samples as they are on my desk. So the next one, the bluebell. I just adore this. Look at the bluebell. Again, this is part of the workshop, but look at that bluebell. I think that is just stunning. I am so chuffed with that. I absolutely adore it. Just love that. I think it's really striking, and it's a striking flower. It's come out beautifully. So that is the bluebell, just so that you can see. So let's then go to my next one. We'll bring back in the looping. So we'll bring our looping in, but this time I've done it in the pink. just so you can see some washi there, some of my new washi. Of course the mouse had to make an appearance. Just trying to show you some of the detail. One of my stencils there in the background from the previous stencil release, which is just beautiful. And the looping, again, just gorgeous. I need about 6 days in each day just to do as much as I would like to do, just so that you can see that. I really do need more days in the week. So that's the next one. Let me just place them together. And then I've got another looping one. And again, I've done this one in pink, but just to give different ideas just on the projects. There's my stencil from my previous release, just so that you can see that. Just love it, absolutely love creating with the looping, just beautiful. So that's another one with the looping. So I'm trying to put these in some kind of order, but I don't know why I'm bothering. Now what I've got is I've got this, and I've paired it with the buttercup in my next card. So you can see I've paired the leaf with the buttercup, and I've also incorporated the quilt ends, the little bird, just so that you can see. Just so you can see. Don't bring it too close, Tracy, because the camera doesn't know what it's doing. Just so that you can see the detail. But just beautiful. Absolutely adore that. And that buttercup, it's just so aesthetically pleasing, that buttercup. There's just something about it. It really is aesthetically pleasing for me. So that's the buttercup one. Let's place that underneath. Then I've got another buttercup one. And again, using this fern, this time with my containers stamp set. We had to add the little hair there, just so you can see that leaf in the background as well. Just so you can see that. The buttercup is just, it's lovely. I absolutely love it. Just so that you can see. It just works so beautifully. Just so that you can see the dimension. So that's another one using the buttercup. And then what have we got next? We've got the buttercup, and we've got, they all mix so well. We've got this stamp set. Can't get it out. So we've got the buttercup and this stamp set. And one of my stencils. And it just looks different again. Nature is a weed or a flower. Too right it is. Just so that you can see all the detail in the cards. But it just, the flowers are just lovely. Always make me happy, they do, flowers. Always have done. They bring me a lot of pleasure. So that is using those. Let's bring that in. And then using this stamp on its own. We have this card. Again, different colour scheme. Of course the mice had to make an appearance. And can you see the P here for periwinkle from my pheasant stamp set? So again, it crosses across the whole library of my imagery. So that's the pheasant, the P from the pheasant stamp set. So it all works together just so beautifully. Just works so well. Just absolutely love it. Just bend this down, and beautiful colours. Okay. Phew. There's a couple of other things I do need to mention as well. And then I've got another card, which again uses this stamp set, but this time combined with my washi, with my stencil, with the P from the pheasant stamp set, and the heart from the pheasant stamp set. And the hairs from a washi work beautifully. Just beautifully. Just so that you can see. Those colours work really nicely together. And I just think a camera is better to look at the samples. So let me just place those on one side. I have got another sample as well. And another sample that uses one of the new stencils, because I had one only. So just so you can see that one. Am I missing one of my flowers? I think I've left one of the cards downstairs. Yes, I've got another card downstairs. Let me go get that, hang on. Sorry about that, but I wanted you to see this flower, which is this one. So this is this flower here, which is the A6 stamp set, and it's also got this A7 one as well. So let's lift that up. It's got the first flower in the background and the flowers in the foreground, and it's got my Tag-O tag, which comes into its own with the florals now. Just go along the card just so you can see a little bit of the detail, just so you can see that. Again, the little bird making an appearance. Right, the card that I ran downstairs for is also part of the workshop. So all these cards that I've shown at the moment are all part of the workshop, workshop 96. And this is the other card using the same, why did you move that? Using the same floral there. So just using that floral, and also using my previous releases, elemental notes, this one and here. And this is that little background stamp I told you about in the same stamp set. Just so that you can see that. I think samples really do show how stamps work so beautifully. Right, now there is also a free gift with purchase. Now I don't know whether that's with any purchase or whether it's the bundle, but there is a free gift with purchase. It's normally with anything that you buy from the live show. So let's just move these, the live shows, not show. So I've also done a free workshop, a gift with purchase, and in your free workshop you will create these cards. So that is with this stamp set here, the A5 stamp set here. you will create these cards in your free workshop, just so that you can see. Just a little bit of texture there as well, just so that you can see that. So that's one of the cards that you'll make in your free workshop, gift with purchase. This is the second card that you'll make in your free workshop, gift with purchase, for my release. This is only for my release, just so that you can see that. So that's the second card. This is your third card that you will make in your free class. There are 4 cards in total for your free workshop, and this is the final card that you'll make in your workshop, just so you can see that. So you'll make these in the workshop, and that is gift with purchase. So that should be mentioned on the show. So just a reminder, the shows are the 17th and 18th, which is Monday and Tuesday, and it starts, my actual show for my one-day special starts at 6 p.m. on the Monday. And then finally, also in my workshop that's £35 with the 11 cards, you've also got this little vignette box. So we've got this vignette box as well that you will be creating, and it combines so beautifully with so many others in my range. It just works beautifully, just with so many other things in the range, just so that you can see that. I'll leave that down there just so you can see that. So I think I've mentioned everything. You get so much information that your brain just switches off. You're like, ugh. So the shows are on the Monday and Tuesday, but the whole event, the whole anniversary event, is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, I think. Because Janet Klein's is the Wednesday one-day special, which goes over to the Thursday. Yes, that's right. It's like I'll question myself. So my one-day special is the Monday and Tuesday. So there you go. So that's all the samples. Those are my stamps and the stencils that will be released as well. So I didn't want to take too much of your time just showing the stamps. Just like to give you the measurements so you get some idea of what you're purchasing. But I do think it's the samples that really show what the stamps can do. If you've got any questions, when this video goes live, it will go live probably on the Monday before the shows. When the video goes live, if you've got any questions, feel free just to leave me a comment under the video, or you can message me direct on Facebook, or you can email me and I'll try and answer any questions that you might have. Again, the same for the workshop. If you want to do the workshop with the 11 cards and the vignette, you can just email me or you can just direct message me. And I think that's it. So love to all, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now, and thank you very much for your support. Bye everyone.